All right, so we're going to start looking at how words change their form and their function when they're within different sentences. So we're going to look at the same three words: run, had, am, and we're gonna see how they change form depending on where they're located within a sentence and the way that the sentence is structured. So first thing we got to know is that all of our sentences have a noun or pronoun, which we'll get to starting off the sentence. We should probably know this already. This is a subject, okay? If you don't know that, we're going to get into that really nice and deep later. But I want you to look at this idea of how is a word changed depending on how it looks. So now, action verb. Let's remind ourselves. Action verbs are verbs that are things that we do, either physically with our body or mentally with our mind. I sleep, I eat, I drink, I swim, I dance, I laugh. They're things that I do, okay? Linking verbs are things that basically state what I am, okay? I look good, okay? What am I? I looking good. It's an equivalent. I am hungry. Am is that same thing, right? I feel tired. I equal tired, okay? So linking verbs are that they link this to that. They say they are equivalent to one another. Helping verbs. Now, you watched the video, you saw that some verbs can stand on their own, but depending on the tense, meaning is it past tense, is it past participle, is it future tense, they're going to need helping verbs. They can't just stand on their own, okay? These helping verbs could be main verbs on their own. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to combine these, okay? These two are main verbs, okay? Can be main verbs. So we're going to say these guys are main verbs. Oops, and I'm going to change. What's the color of red and green together? Like a brown? Okay, these two together are main verbs, okay? Oops. Underneath the same heading, okay? Now, helping verbs help the main verb, and sometimes there's nouns. We already looked at a noun. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea, okay? But sometimes a word can act as a noun, but sometimes act as a verb. So let's take a look. In this first sentence, I run every morning. To run is what I'm doing. I run every morning. My body is physically moving, and so running in this sentence is an action verb. My body is doing something, okay? Now in this next sentence, that same exact word run serves as a noun. Let's read it. I had a great run this morning. What did I do? I had something. I don't know what I had. What did I have? It's subjective. Remember, an object to a verb. That means, what does that mean? Is this action verb, can you go back and can you remember, is this action verb transitive or intransitive? If it has an object, it's transitive. Transitive verbs have an object. What did I have? I had a run. So the run, even though sometimes that serves as a verb, is now serving as a noun. Do you understand? It's a thing that I had. It's something that I possessed. Okay? How about this one? Running is fun. Should put a period there. Running is a thing now. It's an idea. It's a concept of something that I can do. This activity, it's like that. This activity, this exercise. You know, it's an idea. It's not something I can possess, but it's an abstract noun. It is a noun. This thing, okay, is fun. Is can serve as an equal sign. If I take that away and I just make it an equal sign, right? Running equals fun. That makes sense. And so is a linking verb. You remember that practice? Okay. So running in this sentence is a noun. It's a concept. It's an activity. It's standing in the place of a thing, okay, or idea. However, in the next sentence, running is what I'm doing, okay? I am running. What am I doing? I'm running. So running is the activity, but running can no longer stand on its own, right? Am is needed to tell me when I'm doing it. I was running. I have been running. I will be running? No, I am running. I am doing it right now. I am running every morning to train for a marathon. So it's telling me, it's giving me the tense. This is present tense. I'm doing it right now. Okay? All right, but for example, I could change that and I could say, I had been running for many years before I decided to train for the marathon. Okay? Running is still the activity I'm doing, but sometimes now I have two helping verbs. So thinking about this, this is past tense. This is something, well, it's not just past tense, but we'll get into that. It's telling us that it has been going on for a long time. Okay, a long time this has been occurring. Okay? Now, I want you to notice am up here was a helping verb. Again, it's going to be a helping verb. I am feeling confident. If I take feeling and put it as an equal sign, I could say I equal very confident. Okay, I equal very confident. However, that's not the right tense. So this is a linking verb. The main verb is a linking verb in this case, okay? But it needed some help, okay? Finally, we have this, I am a good runner. Again, we could make this an equal sign. I equal a good runner. And that would say a state of being, so it's a linking verb. Okay, so what do I want you to notice? A couple things I want you to notice. Every single sentence has a main verb. Okay, every single sentence. If it's a complete sentence, if it's not a fragment, it has to have a main verb. And a main verb has to either be a linking verb or an action verb. So if we go through every single one of these sentences, we will see a red verb or a green verb. So this one has an action verb, linking verb, action verb, linking verb, linking verb. Every single complete sentence has either an action verb or a linking verb. Okay? Remember, what is an action verb? It's something that I do. Now, sometimes something that I do is easy. I swing, I dance, I can tell that I'm doing something. Sometimes it's something I do mentally, like I think about it, or I consider my options, or I worry over what I will do next. Okay, those are all things that are activities, but they're not easily seen because I'm doing them in my mind. That doesn't mean they're not an action, they're an activity. They're just happening within, okay, instead of outside of myself, okay? Along with that, sometimes you will have a helping verb, depending on the tense. So we see in 3 of these sentences, we had a helping verb. The other thing I want you to see, really get, is you cannot put a word into a category and assume that it will always stay in that category. A word like run could be an action verb or could be a noun. A word like running could be an action verb or could be a noun. Okay? A word like am could be a helping verb or could be a linking verb. Okay? A word like had could be an action verb or could be a helping verb. It depends how it's used within a sentence. The reason we are learning parts of speech is not just so you can categorize words, but because you want to see how sentences fit together. When you see how sentences fit together, you can follow the rules of grammar. Okay, you can have grammatically correct sentences. And when you have grammatically correct sentences, the rest of the world knows what you're saying. You aren't confusing us. Okay, if you can use grammatically correct sentences, we can all get your point. Okay, we don't have to sit through and try to figure out what we think you are trying to say. When you use the grammar that we all agree upon, then we can know your message. And that's really my goal for you guys. We want to be able to speak clearly. And the reason we're learning all these different types of words, the action verb, the linking verb, the helping verb, the noun, is not just so that we can fill out worksheets, but so that we can write correctly. Right? We want to know how to do that. We want to know how to communicate with each other. And so we need to put these words into the right placement. Okay? Now, you will treat each of these words differently, not based upon just what type of word they are, but how they are functioning in the sentence. Let me give you an example, an analogy, okay? You are a person. You are always a person, okay? However, in different situations, you need to act differently. When you are at school, you are a learner. You need to act as a learner. When you're at church, right, you're a worshiper. You act differently than when you're a learner. What about when you're helping your mom or dad, or you're listening to your mom and dad? You're a child, right? You're a child. You're somebody's child. You're listening to them, right? What if you are supporting your sibling? Then you are a brother or a sister, right? You're acting like a good sister or a good brother. All of the time you're a person, but you have all of these different functions in the world. You can be a leader. You can be an example. You can be a follower. You can be a servant. You can be a friend. You can be an encourager, right? All of these are functions that you as one person have, and you act differently depending on the situation you are in, right? You're not going to go to your grandma's house and act the same way that you do when you're at school, right? I mean, you're gonna talk to your grandma. You're gonna be more casual. Um, you're not gonna be pulling out the hard books, right? So that's what we're doing here. In the very same way that you are one person, but you function differently in different situations, these words are one word. I mean, run doesn't ever stop being the word run, but it functions differently depending on the sentence in which it's found. So we just need to adjust for that. So let's take one last review of how these different words looked, okay? Run. Run in this sentence is an action verb, okay? Because it's what I do. I run every morning. However, in this sentence, run is a noun. I had a great run. It is what I had. It is the object of my verb. The run, what happens to the run? I had it. Just like if you think back to our last video, what happened to the mountain? I climbed it, okay? Let's look at the word had. I had a great run. That's my main verb. That's what I did. So it's a main verb. However, down here, had tells me about the main verb. I had been running. Was the activity that I was doing had? I had something? No. I couldn't say I had many years before decided to train, excuse me. No, I was running. The activity that I was doing was running. Had is a support, okay? Let's look at running. Here, running is a noun. An action verb, excuse me, I'm sorry. Right here, it's an action verb. It's what I've been doing. For many years, I have been running. What have I been doing? I've been running. Up here in this sentence, running is a noun. Running is something. It's a thing. It's a thing that is fun, okay? How about am? Okay, am, how about right here? Am, I am feeling very confident. Am is not what I am. I couldn't just say I am. I could shorten it. I could say I am very confident, but I'm not saying that. I'm trying to add to it. I'm feeling confident. I might not be it, but I am feeling it, okay? Finally, here it is the linking verb. I am a good runner. I'm going to state it over myself. I'm going to declare I am a good runner, okay? So know that going in. I know it's a lot. I know that we have a lot when it comes to verbs, but you want to look at how does it function within a sentence. So take another minute. I'm going to leave this up for a little bit and look at it and see if you can start to understand using these color codings, looking at the examples, you can understand how these different words function in different sentences. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, if you need more time, you can go look at the practice sheet itself. It's posted. Thank you.